Listen, mate, you just go away, spend some time to think about it. No, I'm telling you what's going to happen. And we're going to get...
My apologies for what happened.
Yeah, we've spoken about it, right? So listen,
just
you
let
go away.
please, you know?
Look, that's our decision,
Let
mate.
my brothers please.
That's our decision, bro. You've got a decision to make. Just walk away from it and I'll see you tomorrow and we'll make a decision.
I'm taking the road that Isaac said to take, and yeah, take me out. Yeah, I don't wanna let the past down, you know. Let them play. I don't want any of them standing out of this game just because of my actions. So JK, take me out. You gotta take me out. I'm sorry.
I think the lesson has been learned. And he's dragged himself out and we can make it, well, who's going to suffer tomorrow more, Vi or the team? Because we've got no other players, we've got 15 straight. Vi drops out, can Awa last the whole game? Tony's a bit injured. You know, we've got 45 plus. You know, he's probably getting his family along. There's a whole lot of consequences that are bigger than, and if the lesson's been learnt.
Yeah, well, you need to give him a reason why we're letting him play.
Because we've decided to.
No, but the reason
because he's going to let the team down otherwise.
The reason is that he had volunteered to say that he would take himself out. Yep. Until he did that, we weren't going to let him play.
Yep. Okay. So decision made?
Yeah, and we need to give the reason. Say.
Yeah, I'll go and tell him now. What do you want to tell the whole team? Come in. We want everyone in as quick as possible. Listen, guys, Vi came up and dragged himself out of the game for tomorrow night. And one of the things that Hugo and I spoke about pre the meeting was that if you guys stand up and take responsibility for your actions, then we should be man enough to go, okay, that's cool. So Vi dragged himself out of the game. And for us, if you agree to come with us next week, Vi, back to Fletcher's with Hugo, myself, possibly JT and Henry, and apologise, then I think it's only fair that we should put you back into the game tomorrow. 2 reasons. You manned up to it, and it hurt you deep, and I saw that by your tears. Secondly, I think we are a team, and you're going to need to play well for us tomorrow night. So you cool with that? Yeah? All good?
Solid. Sweet.
All right, let's go to Hunger, boys. Back as one team.
My game's at 6 p.m. tonight, and it's a pretty big deal. So it's being all filmed for Sky Sports and all that stuff, and Adidas sponsors are here and all that. So it's a pretty big deal for me to get this clearance. All right, then I'll call you guys back in 5 minutes. All right, thank you. Bye. They told me to ring back in 5 minutes to talk to the nurses, see if they can wriggle something out. If not, to try the hospital doctor that see me to get the clearance. But yeah, lesson learned, go to your doctor's appointment.
If I was you, I'd go and talk to your teammates, see if we can't find a solution. Maybe you should have found a doctor that cuts hair. Then you could have done both at the same time. Turn out looking like a bloody movie star. We need your medical certificate.
I'm doing that right now. I'm doing that right now.
Good man.
Figuring it out.
I've been looking 4 to 8 weeks to see you taking the ball up. Don't let me down at the last minute. Well, like the School of Hard Knocks has been from the beginning, you go there and you think, you know, this is just going to be another game day, and then something happens. So the first one was that one of our boys had been locked up all night in prison. We didn't know if he was going to make it, so we didn't know where he was. Then a couple of the other boys turned up and they looked a little bit not quite right. So I was pretty aware of what sort of situation we're in. And then I think for me the whole game day was about them actually controlling the nervousness and how that was going to manifest itself. I was interested to see who was going to go well and who wasn't. and how they're going to react to the physicality and the pressure. As the School of Hard Knocks grew, the actual game became really central for them, playing that game and playing together and looking after each other. So yeah, they were pretty tight. You might say they were pretty tight, but all of them were dealing with the game day in their own way. You know, I was just trying to keep an eye on them, make sure that they weren't, you know, getting too carried away and that we were going to make it to the kick-off time. I've been incredibly proud to be part of this last 8 weeks. And we have 45 minutes, and that's got to be the icing on the cake. And it's got to be the icing on the cake with effort. We're not worried about seeing anything else. You've got to play for each other. You've got to remember this for the rest of your life. And the only way you'll do that is by walking off and you've got nothing left. You gave everything you've got for each other. And then in 20 years' time when we get together, you'll go, I was part of something special. Do you want to be part of something special? Yes. So stick together. No bullshit, okay? That's a really big thing for us. Stay disciplined, stay together.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, brothers. 1, 2, 3, brothers.
I think there was quite a lot of anxiety around about how they were going to perform and not letting their mates down and their families were on the sideline. They were all reacting in their own way, but there wasn't anything that concerned me, and so I was pretty confident that they would deal with it as best they could, considering.
I just want one thing, play with your heart and show all these people who we are, okay? That's all I want, play with your heart, all right? To the fucking Mawakatina! Tina! Hold me out, Taiki! Kawaira! Kawaira! Aha, katakura patua! Ua etune! Kimia, te ara tika! Karatua, taku kurikara kino! Engo tuara! Engo tuara! Engo tuara! Hikina, hikina, kaka hakato! Hey, fucka mana! Oh, yeah! Fucka pakari! Taku tinana! Mara marika! Takurako! Fucka hihiko! Taku manawa! Kaputa kaora! Kita fire! Kita mara mae!
Go Valencia. Own it, boys.
Yeah, Key!
Yeah, well done, boys.
Follow them up! Come on, follow them!
Well done, boys.
Go, Joe!
Yeah, good work, Joe. Get him on side.
Yeah, Tony!
We got up. Awesome.
Go, Joe!
Go, Joe! Get to the deck, Joe! Get to the deck! Well done. My biggest concern was probably the beginning of the game, and you know, getting out there and just going too hard and leave everything out there. But I actually was really proud of them. I think they paced themselves well. You know, they didn't fly into it. I think they approached the game the right way.
6, 1, 2, 8,
Oh, we didn't make this line out, eh? Get him. Keep drifting. Tackle.
Take it, take it down!
Tosa was there though.
Go, back! Go, back!
Yeah, well done, boys. Yeah, I think it's really important that you have good opposition. The game's better. I thought the opposition did a great job. I thought they played within the spirit of, you know, the whole evening, so that was a real positive. And I thought our guys stepped up and, you know, really performed well. We trained, you know, for the whole 8 weeks, and we tried to simplify it as much as possible around, you know, some of our moves, and we tried to give them the responsibility for it. I think initially the structure went out the door, let's just play, but then they started to get back to understanding that they needed the structure to compete.
You right, Dale? Get on, we need someone on.
We need come over here. See, you need your hour. Come on, brother. No hands, come. Come on, Joe. Shot 2. Yeah. Get some real in there too. Bench reaction. Awesome effort, guys.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's a lot better than I expected, but we can do better. All right, we can do better. Just look after the ball, eh? Just as when we don't have the ball, that's when we stop running. That's the key. We got to keep going. Tackles, but it's going really well.
Lots of good effort going in. Just need to make sure that when someone's running, we've got to get that support there. But besides that, can't fault you guys, okay? Yep. So just keep doing what we're doing, but you've got to make your tackles, eh?
Good work, boys. Maybe get closer to the ground in the contact. You know, don't run so tall. Good running from the bros. Yeah, let's just work hard. Let's show them what we got, boys. Right, let's go.
Cap. How are you, Joseph?
Take it. Well done.
Look at this guy. Are you kidding? Go, Tony, run straight.
I just told him to stay low. Go, Ryan. Well done. Oh, good clean out. Good clean out. Yeah, go, Joe. Yeah, want to tackle him, like.
Help him out, Henry. Henry, help him out.
Yeah, good boy, Vi. Good hit, Vi. The lead-in from Vi was confrontational as far as him and I were concerned. What happened leading up to that I was pretty upset about. So I was expecting him to have a big one. And to be fair, I think he gave it everything.
Good carry.
Great carry.
Come on, ref, let him go. Let it go, boys. Over. Henry, call for it. Call.
Get wide.
Yeah, hard luck. I think they're going really well. We just need to be a little bit more intelligent with our fitness, so we can kick it sometimes. We're just playing a lot down this area, but we nearly scored down there, so yeah, boys are going good. Be ready, Vi. Be ready for it. Good boy, Vi. Good play. Well, easy.
Get in there, down right.
Awa. Go, Awa. Good boy, Awa. You know, Awa, I was really proud of him particularly. You know, him and his brother went really hard. Both of them, him and T, tried really hard, and I think Awa wasn't quite ready because we'd probably built him up a wee bit saying you're a big man, you know, just take the ball up and, you know, you'll squash people, but the opposition actually bashed him. They saw this big guy come in, they put a couple of guys on him. So I think he got a shock early, but then he didn't stop, he kept going, and, you know, I was really proud of him.
Joe, stay in the line. Rion, stay over here.
He's been on the whole time, Rion.
So Rion's going to make a tackle here. He's going to make a tackle now, Rion. Here. No, he's got Joe.
Go, Joe. Go, Joe. Get him, Del Rey.
Done.
Hard luck. You know, Rion was not supposed to play. I think sort of 6 weeks before, you know, we realised that he had a pretty bad ankle, so he was not supposed to be out there, but we felt we could put him on at the end for a couple of minutes And every time I turned my back, he was out there, you know. And so I think that was really important for him, you know, that he really wanted to do that. And so it was just his real willpower. And I think that willpower put him in good stead moving forward.
Go, hold the ball, the boy. Look for a mouse, look for a mouse. Help him, go, run it off.
Oh, good ball.
Run.
Have a go, bro.
Step in.
Get him, Joe.
Go. Sorry, boys.
Come on,
We got to keep the ball, boys.
sorry, boys.
Hold on to the ball. No fancy stuff. Remember simple things. Do the simple things, right?
You're good.
Hands.
Stay warm, man. We're going to put you on the last quarter. You're going awesome.
All right.
There was a period during the middle of the game where I think they were getting tired, and there was a little bit of, you know, they were getting a bit frayed, and I was worried about their tempers because it was getting quite physical. You know, I think when the boys, you know, started playing with a bit better quality, the opposition picked it up because they had to. And so in rugby, you pick it up by being more physical, and so they did. And our guys were reacting with a bit of temper rather than aggression. To be fair, during the game I was a little bit concerned about that, but I thought they controlled themselves well, and I think that was a big part of the course, understanding that, you know, when you do have anger, for whatever reason, you deal with it in a different way than rather than it turning into aggression.
Oh, well. Awesome, mate. Well done. Did you score then?
Yeah,
Hey?
got squashed at the same time. I didn't think they counted it as a score.
Didn't they? You got close though. It's a good run. Hey?
Yeah, go! Yeah!
Great decoy, T. Getting more joy out of this than I've had out of rugby for about 10 years. We have 3 minutes to go. Hey, 3 minutes to go, the ball is ours. How do we want to finish?
Finish hard,
Hey?
boys.
On top. Let's try everything we can to finish on a positive. Hey? Let's finish on a real positive for this 8 weeks for each other. Finish on a try. Hey, game over. Our ball. T, we all good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go, boys. Hands in, come on. It's everything you've got for all your mates in the circle. Everything you've got for your families watching. So far, you've done them proud. How do we want to finish?
On top.
Hey? How do we want to finish?
On top.
Okay. Finish strong, boys. Let's go.
Brothers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Brothers. Out. 5, 6.
Oh, yes! Well done. That was awesome.
The way the game finished, we've been practicing ACC 2 or 3 times a day for 8 weeks and talking about doing a dummy cut with 2. And so for it to finish with probably one of our success stories from an emotional point of view, and I think that 2 was one of the guys that really took up the challenge for change. You know, for him to finish doing ACC, going through a hole and scoring was, yeah, brought tears to my eyes. That moment at the end was 8 weeks of hard work, and these guys had been through a lot emotionally. For them to finish on that, it was like winning the World Cup. You know, some of these guys were getting out of bed, working hard, you know, and so for them to finish and to walk off the field with their heads held high, that they'd made them and their families proud. It's just important that they hang on to those emotions to keep driving their lives in a positive direction.
To the fucking Maua Cup,
Ankles are a bit sore, but yeah, I was just glad I got a run. At least one touch of the ball.
Nah, yeah, it was good, eh? All the brothers put in the effort.
I want to say quick thanks to Sir JK, Hugo, Scott Mills Charity, Les Mills JT. Come forget a face up, thanks to all my boys.
Jack. I represent the school of hard knocks. We rock so much, just like an orthodox. We rock the rugby field, we keep it so real, realer than the drug dealers.
Yeah, the atmosphere in the change room afterwards was one of relief, I think. We'd all come through it. It was the end of a hard slog, and I think satisfaction and just being together that only a changing room after a game of any sport you can experience. It's that unity, you know, you've worked hard together, you've achieved a goal, and there's no better feeling. So, yeah, it was a really, really nice.
Cheapest 8 weeks ago, mate, I didn't think they'd even be able to, one, you know, compete on a rugby field. I was going to JK, holy crap, here we go. To, you know, putting on a performance out there, that wasn't so much a score as just, you know, they played with a lot of pride and a lot of courage, and that's uncoachable.
Making history, man. Feels good. Feels good. And to do it with a bunch of lads like I've met here, like first walking into that room and seeing them was a bit like, whoa, what's he gonna be like? And then, no, bro, it was mean. We all just clicked, bang, brotherhood.
I feel like it's kind of let me grow as a person. Being able to kind of be with a group of fellas like this, group of guys that weren't willing to turn their backs on me, so I wasn't willing to turn my back on them.
Back as one team.
You know, the result might not have been exactly how we picture it ending, but at the end of the day, it's not really about the results on the field, but off the field, and I think off the field, we're better men for this course.
I got a couple of goals this week. Quitting smoking isn't one of them.
There's only one way when you're down the bottom, bro, and you can only go up from there. 26 years old and I was lost, man, and come here 8 weeks ago, didn't think I'd get anything out of it, and on me now, I'm this person that I've never ever seen before.
You know, where to from here? There's a time when you've got to meet halfway. You know, employers are not going to be coming picking you up from home. You know, you've got to be responsible to getting yourself out of bed, getting yourself organised, get yourself to work. So that's some of those lessons that these guys need to learn.
Yeah, I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster for me. Two great things that I took out of School of Hard Knocks was I will not judge anyone before I get to know them ever again. And I think that was a really important thing for my life. And they drove me crazy because they needed sometimes a kick in the butt to say, look, you know, look, you can't have things handed to you all your life. And I know things have been tough, but you just got to get on with it. Friends like before, okay? Put this behind us. I was quite pensive driving away from College Rifles. I think it was about midnight by the time I started to head home, and I was thinking, well, you know, I know that on Monday morning I'm going to be getting up and charging off to do something else. I hope they will be.